Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a team here with the Pokemon that actually got Fairy Wind this season, the Togetic. Togetic now going to be able to generate energy fairly fast, having access to the move Dazzling Gleam. It might say Moonblast on the right side. If I remember it, I can still fix it, but maybe I forgot about it, who knows. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting Pokemon to take a look at, as it's going to be able to beat all the Scrafties, which is going to forfeit here anyway, which is going to be very nice for me. But yeah, we're going to have here a team with the Vigoroth in the lead, going to be able to have a neutral matchup against a lot of Pokemon. And honestly, I feel like Vigoroth was the MVP here. Very great lead right now in the current meta. There are a lot of Pokemon that don't want to face this Pokemon here, and that was kind of nice. I actually went 5-0 in my first set with this team immediately, which was really cool to see. And then I went 0-5 in the next one, which is happening because I think encountered out of 5 battles 4 times the double poison backline. And yes, sorry, Togetic has nothing to do against poison type Pokemon. It is basically impossible. But yeah, that's what LilyNiRiain's team comes the entire time. Poison type Pokemon, poison type Pokemon. I actually don't know. I didn't expect so many poison type Pokemon here around. But I don't know, it's okay. We're going to have encountered here now the Zapdos, which is going to be able to swap out now into the Ancient Power. Great play by the opponent into the Drapion. But we're still going to be able to generate energy fairly fast with our Togetic. And the Ancient Powers are just coming through so fast that the opponent Zapdos has no chance of getting to another charge move here and also gonna go down. In comes now a Mug. And our Pidgeot is in a prime position here to go for a big Brave Bird. Even though this is a Thunder Punch here, which it isn't actually, they go for the Dark Pulse for whatever reason. We're still going to be able to go for the Brave Bird, and boom, this will be enough to knock out the Shadow Mug, and we will be able to now go on into the next game. Vigoroth against Vigoroth, a very neutral lead of course, but we're gonna get out the Tentacruel. And this is going to be an interesting one here. I'm going to bait first for the Bulldoze. Bulldoze would of course do super effective damage against the opponents, so they want to shield this move up here. But again, this was in the second set as well. Of course, they're going to have Tentacruel here, first poison type Pokemon. I can go for the Bulldoze here, and this is actually a fairly safe play because I should be able to reach another one if they go for another Scald here. They're most likely running Sludge Wave. Nope, they're running Acid Spray. And like this, there is nothing that I can do with my Vigoroth anymore. I'm forced to swap out. I'm forced to go into my Pidgeot here right now, and the Scald is coming through, going to get us fairly low. I will be able to go for another charge move here. I try to get into a range where I can still get to a Feather Dance against the opponent's Vigoroth as well, but I don't get there. But at least I can go ahead and go into my Togetic to just go and get up against a Toxapex. And I faced, I think, either like Toxapex plus Golbat or Toxapex plus Tentacruel 5-6 times now in a row. It was wild. Like, everybody is running double poison in the back right now for whatever reason. And also was kind of wild, which I also can say, which I faced quite a bit, not with this team, but with teams that you're going to see later on as well, like tomorrow most likely. Future Sight Cresselia was everywhere. And while it is making some kind of sense there against like something like the Toxapex, it is so weird to have something like this against Scrafty. I don't really understand it. But yeah. Here we're going to at least be able to get rid of one Vigoroth, but we're going to still have a Charizard to deal with. And I'm going to try to catch a move here onto my Togetic after going into my Vigoroth. You see already the counter damage is adding up quite a bit. Of course, we would have the double super effective Ancient Power here right now. I tried to hope that they went for like a bait or something like this, but they didn't. But they're going to catch a move now on the Lickitung, and this is going to be a very difficult game to still come by, as we are going to struggle a little bit with the Lickitung here right now as well. We're going to be able to at least go up to quite a lot of energy here. Having nearly already 2 body slams, I can go for another one. Is this enough to already knock out the opponent here? Do they need to use a shield here? They do not use a shield, and they still can go for their own charge move. I cannot use a shield at all here because the opponent going to still have a move slot on the Charizard. Is it 2 moves though? This is going to be the question here, as we're going to use a shield. Sadly, the first Dragon Claw is coming through, and they still have another one stored already. So it's actually a Blast Burn, never mind. So that's going to be a good game for sure. And we can move on to the next one. Dragonair in the lead. I can actually stay in here, go for one Body Slam, and weaken the opponent quite a bit. I encountered quite a few Dragon-type Pokemon in the lead, but never in the back, which would have been, of course, very beneficial for me if like someone tried to use the Say-Swap of Dragonair. I would have had a Fairy-type in the back for that, but I don't. So it's going to be a little bit of a tricky one here, but we're going to get out the Scrafty. And of course here we're going to go for the bait first, which will get the debuff. They actually didn't shield at all, but we will be able to still survive one move here. And we don't really care too much about this matchup now anyway. I can still get even to the Feather Dance, which is really good for me as they're now 4 times debuffed. And they're going to not even use a shield here, but I can try to farm down with the Togetic. But in comes now the Toxic Rogue. I'm going to be able to go ahead and go for one charge move here. It's going to be the Ancient Power. And we're going to be able to now go and swap out into the Vigoroth. Are we going to try to get some energy off the opponent here by going to our Vigoroth? But it's going to be a Mud Bomb, and they can now farm me down there as well. So it's going to be a tricky one. I could call this bait here, and I thought of calling it, but it was a Sludge Bomb, so good thing I didn't call it. I'm going to go straight for the Dazzling Gleam here at this point of time, as this move going to get shielded by the opponent. I will be able to go for another Dazzling Gleam afterwards, but of course they can swap out into their Scrafty, but they didn't because I went straight for it. I didn't go for a fast move first, and like this we can knock them out in the Scrafty. Has nowhere to go, and our good friend Togetic is going to be able to just knock out those 2 fighting type Pokemon here, which is really good. The entire team was, by the way, weak to Togetic. Another poison type Pokemon here with the Toxapex. This is going to be a tough one. Again, they're going to swap out into the Dubwool. At least it's going to make me like into a matchup here where I can go ahead and go for another Body Slam to get them very low. And I can now farm them down with our good friend Pidgeot. And they're actually going to go straight for a charge move here, which is going to be fine for me as in comes the Body Slam. I will be able to farm down before they even can get to another Body Slam here, which will allow me now to go for some charge moves as well against the Toxapex. I'm going to, of course, debuff them immediately here so they don't do as much damage, and they're going to go ahead and go straight for their own charge move. This will be the Sludge Wave here, doing still quite a lot of damage. Like, this is a very bulky Pokemon and still hits so hard, but I will be able to reach my own Brave Bird, and sadly they're going to shield this move up here, and I have no way to go anymore. I can go ahead and go into my Vigoroth, but I still am forced to shield up the move. It's going to be a Brine here, but I can try to go for the Bulldoze, but they're gonna swap out perfectly into the Scrafty, which is really unfortunate, because of course our Pokemon in the back, the Togetic, would have had the prime chance here to just go for one Dazzling Gleam. Like this, I'm forced to just farm them all the way down. Honestly, I make a mistake though by not doing this and going for the Ancient Power here. I should have just farmed them all the way down. But like this, at least I'm going to be able to knock them out before they can get to any charge move here. And I will be able to now still have some health left, which will allow me to survive quite a few fast moves of the opponent and still get to the Ancient Power. So I think it's actually a decent decision for me to go for my charge move before that, because now they cannot farm me down. They're forced to throw another charge move here. In comes the Brine, and now they are maximum at like 50 energy. Like this, I can farm them all the way down, and even here Toxapex was not the issue, which is really cool to see. Next opponent, Tapu Fini in the lead. Very interesting lead here as well. We can go ahead and go for the Body Slam spam here against the opponent, but we're going to swap out eventually. Because we have this ABB line, we kind of have to try to get out answers for those flying type Pokemon. And what kind of answer did we get out of here? The Steelix, basically the best answer against flying type Pokemon, being an insane wall here, like super defensive Pokemon, completely resisting all the moves of both of our Pokemon in the back here as well, which is kind of awkward. But we're going to be able to get 4 debuffs onto their attack here, which will allow Pidgeot to survive a little bit longer. And also you're going to see already the Steelix health is declining fairly fast. We can go ahead and let this move go through and keep our Brave Bird alive here. And we're going to swap out immediately now into our Vigoroth. In comes the Tapu Fini. This move seemed a little bit silly by me, right? Losing switch advantage, losing my only good counter against Steelix, but you're going to see why I did this later on. We're going to now be able to use a shield against the opponent's serve, as he can still get to the Body Slam, but not in time, forcing me to use another shield, but I will be able to at least farm up extra energy and go for a Body Slam right now to force the final shield or the knockout against the opponent here. In comes now their final Pokemon, most likely, because they don't want to have their Steel Pokemon against my Vigoroth, and it's going to be the opponent's, what's called the Pidgeot here, which is going to be very decent for us, as he can let this move go through. We don't have a shield anyway, so there's not really anything we can do here, and the Feather Dance is going to come through, but we can now go ahead and go into our good friend Togetic, go for the move here, the Ancient Power, and we're gonna get the shield, and we're gonna be able to now snipe them with my own Pidgeot, going for the Brave Bird and knocking them out. Now it's a big, huge Steel Snake here against the Togetic, and here is the reason why I went for the switch out before. Togetic is insanely bulky, and also is a fairy type. And of course, the opponent's DDX main damage source is their fast move, which is going to be Dragon Tail. So while this is a horrific matchup on paper, it's actually fairly okayish for us, and we're going to be able to reach the Ancient Power in time here in order to knock out the opponent's DDX here with a few seconds there on the clock still, as you saw on the top. And we can move on into the next game. The Pidgeot in the lead, and we're going to get the Sneasler out of the way. This might be the team that I actually showcased as well in the top team video. If you haven't checked out the top team videos, definitely check them out. Both for the Open as well as for the remix variant of the Great League are out. Also, leave a like on the video. Leave a video on the like. That's definitely what I want to say. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, as you're going to now encounter a gust variant of Pidgeot. What is wrong with people right now? That's kind of wild. I haven't seen a gust variant for ages. It's not the preferred move at all because you don't generate energy as fast, as well as 4-turn fast moves are very clunky. Great prediction by the opponent to just go straight for the Brave Bird though, and now it's the Toxic Rogue against our good friend the Togetic, and they're going to bait me first, and we are kind of in a scenario where I kind of have to call a bait from the opponent here, and I'm going to be able to at least get the shield from the opponent. I'm going to go for another Ancient Power here, but I'm going to let this move go through, and they win for a Sludge Bomb now. I feel like it was a kind of obvious Sludge Bomb, so like I definitely could have expected this one, but it's still okay. Good games to the opponent here, as you're going to play another opponent here with a Dragonite in the lead. This is going to be an interesting matchup again. We're going to be able to get some damage onto them, but of course we want to have the Dragonite against our, against our Togetic in the back there. We should be able to outspeed them now with our Pidgeot to the move, and no, we don't. And I think I had some lag there as well, just before I get to the move, but I don't know if that really mattered. There was a CMP at the end. Interesting, but yeah, we're going to be able to now get the move off. They're going to still swap out here into the Quagsire, and I can still let this go and hopefully still survive the Mud Bomb, but I do not. And I'm forced to go into my Togetic right now. Not knowing what they're going to have in the back here right now, we will go for the shield, which is going to be the Stone Edge. And I'm going to try to keep as much health still on my Togetic as possible, because it might come in clutch later on. We're going to actually let this move go through, allowing me now to catch a move onto my Vigoroth and have all the health still left on my Togetic, which is going to be super nice for me. In comes now the Dragonite as well, and I can farm down with a Togetic. They have a shield left, and they have, of course, a perfect answer against me. So they had an answer for my lead, they had an answer for the Pokemon in the back. There is literally not a lot that I can do in this matchup here anymore. There is nothing that an Excadrill is going to take from my charge moves here. That's not going to do too much damage against them. The Dazzling Beam going to get shielded anyway, and that's going to be it. There was nothing I could have done in this game, to be fair. Excadrill in the back just completely hard counters Togetic. There was no lot that I can do here. So good game there. Not a lot that I can do, but we can move on into the next game. We're going to have the Pidgeot in the lead, and this is going to be the, also an interesting matchup here again. We can just stay in, go for one Body Slam here. This is going to do around 50% of the opponent's health, and like this, I'm going to let this move go through, and it's going to be, it's going to be a shield, and it's going to be the Brave Bird. In comes now the Quagsire. I swapped out so late here. This is not how you're supposed to do it. You should swap out earlier than this here for sure, but the Stone Edge gonna get shielded by us, and we can go for the debuffing move first. Do they shield this move up? They do, which is really good for me, as now I'm going to be able to go for another charge move against them, and I'm going to not be 2 shields down, which is always kind of awkward. 2 shields down with 0 shields is always a little bit tricky, but we can go for one Brave Bird here right now, and they're going to go ahead and let this move go through, which is going to be amazing, as I can try to reach another one. We're kind of out of sync because the game lagged again, but I'm still going to be able to reach my charge move here and get the shield from the opponent. In comes now the Wishcast, and we of course have our Togetic against it. Wishcast learns the move Brave Bird, of course. Brave Bird? Of course. Wishcast definitely learns the move Brave Bird, totally not Blizzard. Brave Bird Wishcast is going to town for sure. Like, what else would happen here at all? The Brave Bird is coming through any moment here. Watch it. It's coming, definitely coming here out. We want to be able to go for another Body Slam though, which is definitely ideal, as a Brave Bird Wishcast is definitely going to do a ton of damage against us. Yes, we can go for the Ancient Power. That's going to be enough to knock out the opponent's Wishcast, and the Brave Bird will maybe come from at least the Pidgeot at the end. We will see it. Yes, Brave Bird here. It should have been the Wishcast, but still, it's going to be fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. 2 videos on the screen right now as well, with the carving if you haven't seen the video about this one, and as well the top teams for this meta. So check them out. See you then, and bye.